What's up, YouTube? It's Onion Bomb here, and welcome to my Week 4 NFL game predictions of the 2018-2019 season. Now, for anybody who is new to this series, as you guys can see, there are 3 columns. My logo is my predictions. The bowl is basically picking the game randomly out of a bowl to see which I'm predicting that way, and Madden is predicting the way of a simulation through, of course, the game Madden 19. But before we move on to Week 4, let's recap how Week 3 went. And as you guys can see, very interesting week. As you can see, my week was pretty bad. I went 6-10. The Bull, though, went 15-1. They were a Raiders victory away from going perfect 16-0. That is just crazy to me. And Madden had an average week with 8-8. It's not negative, not positive, but it's 8-8. Not the best either, but the Bull really stepped up, and as you guys can see, is now in first place overall, 25-21, and of course the 2 ties. And I am in second, 23-2, and Madden has found its way in third place, 20-26, and of course 2. Now, I am right now, I'm even. I'm 23-23. I'm not negative. Man's negative, and the Bull is positive. So I gotta step up. I've been flopping the last couple weeks. For week 2 and 3 weren't the best for me, especially week 3. But week 1 is pretty good. And it was the opposite for the Bull and Madden. The Bull had a great week this week. That might be the best anyone's ever gonna do. Of course, the best. I always shoot to go perfect, but there's always a couple upsets that throw everyone off. And even if you try to pick them, it's hard to pick upsets. So yeah, let's see who got what games wrong. Jets versus the Browns. I got that right with the Browns. The Bull got that right with the Browns, but Man had the Jets and got that wrong. Saints versus the Falcons. I got that wrong with the Falcons, but the Bull and Madden got that right with the Saints. Packers versus the Redskins. Me and Madden got that wrong with the Packers, but the Bull got the Redskins right. The Colts versus the Eagles, we all 3 got that right with the Eagles. The Bills versus the Vikings, I got that wrong with the Vikings, and the Bull and Man got that right with the Bills. I remember talking a kind of crap on that, and look what happened. I should just shut my mouth. Raiders versus the Dolphins, we all 3 got that wrong with the Raiders, and that was the Bulls' only wrong prediction, which is absolutely crazy. Broncos versus the Ravens, we all got that right with the Ravens. Unfortunately, we love the Ravens loss there. The Bengals versus the Panthers, me and the Bull got that right with the Panthers. Man got that wrong with the Bengals. Giants versus the Texans. I got that wrong with the Texans, but Bull and Man got that right with the Giants. The Titans versus the Jaguars. Me and Man got that wrong with the Jaguars, but the Bull got that right with the Titans. 49ers versus the Chiefs. I got that wrong with the 49ers. That's one of the upsets I predicted, but didn't happen. And the Bull and Madden got that right with the Chiefs. Chargers versus the Rams. We all 3 got that right with the Rams. Seahawks versus the Cowboys. The Bull got that right with the Seahawks, but me and Man got that wrong with the Cowboys. The Bears versus the Cardinals. Me and the Bull got that right with the Bears, but Man got that wrong because Man predicted a tie between the Cardinals and Bears. So yeah, Man only got that right if they tied, which they did not. Patriots versus the Lions. This is crazy that the Bull got this right with the Lions, because me and Man got that wrong with the Patriots, and I was even calling the Patriots the safest pick in football, and look what happened the next way. Oh my goodness. And the Steelers versus the Buccaneers. I got that wrong with the Buccaneers, but Bull and Man got that right with the Steelers, and I'm very happy about that because, as you guys know, I am a Steelers fan. So, with that recap out of the way, let's finally move in to the Week 4 games and predict them. Alright, Thursday night football. Vikings at the Rams. Very, very good game. I was going to take the Rams. And I heard, apparently, Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib are both injured. I think that's gonna, I hate changing my mind, so I'm gonna still take the Rams. If Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib were still there, I would feel more comfortable about it. But these are two pretty stacked teams with weapons both on offense and defense. This should be a great game. Really good for Thursday night football. But I'm going with the Rams over the Vikings. And sorry, usually I'm on top of things. I'm picking the game for the Bull while I'm talking, but I was not. Oh, and by the way, we're getting into bye weeks now, so the Panthers and the Redskins are on their bye week. But the Bull has the Rams as well. The Bull really does like taking the Rams. So the Bull agrees with me, and Madden agrees with me. We're all in agreement. For the first time, we are in full agreement on Thursday night football. Usually Madden's the odd man out, but not anymore. And I think this is like the fourth time we're all taking the Rams. So, will the Vikings prove us wrong, or will the Rams prove us right? Alright, now we're getting into the Sunday games. Next up, we have the Jets and the Jaguars. The Jaguars coming off of a loss of the Tennessee Titans, divisional rivals that had their number last year, and it's looking like they're having their number again. The Jets losing to the Cleveland Browns. I'm, of course, going with the Jaguars. The Jaguars beat the Patriots. The Jaguars have an elite defense. And, yeah, Blake Bortles and the offense gets going. They're a really good team. And, the Jets are kind of struggling. So, yeah, you got to take the Jaguars, who I think are going to be a playoff team. And a lot of people are in agreement with that. And the Bull is going to agree with me. And Madden's going to agree with me. 42-7. That's a very, very that's like a blowout. But hey, with that defense, a lot of turnovers, that could happen, honestly. And also, Madden has 35-20. The Rams over the Vikings. I forgot to say the score on that one. Next up, we have the Dolphins at the Patriots. The Patriots coming off of a loss from the Lions. The Lions of all teams. Matt Patricia got revenge on his old team. They lost after I called them the safest pick in football. But hey, I'm sorry. I've been sleeping on the Dolphins are 3-0. I've been kind of sleeping on them. I don't think I've taken them yet. But Dolphins, I'll take you next week depending on the matchup. I just can't take you against the Patriots at the Patriots. In Miami, in this situation, maybe, but even then, I have trouble going against the Patriots. I even take the Patriots, against the Steelers most of the time, being a realist about it. But I'm going with the Patriots. I really hope they lose. I hope the Bull is right, because the Bull has just picked the Dolphins winning this game, and Madden has the Dolphins win this game 16-13. That's actually a very realistic score if the Dolphins do win. I'm not putting it past the Dolphins. The Patriots seem to be they're struggling a little bit. But yeah, I'm still going with the Patriots. I would love to get this one wrong, but if I get it right, I wouldn't be surprised at that either. Alright, next up, Eagles at the Titans. I am going with the Eagles. The Eagles, coming off a win against the Colts. Not a huge win like it should have been, because the Eagles are definitely way better than the Colts, at least in my opinion. But they still got some weapon. I think they still can do this, and they're going to beat the Titans. Maybe it's going to be a close game. I don't know. I think the Eagles have it over the Titans and are better than the Titans. And the Bull also is taking the Eagles in this situation. And Madden is taking the Eagles too. We're all three in agreement with the Eagles. Madden has the game 28-27, a 1-point game. Crazy. Alright, next up we have the Texans at the Colts. The Texans. What is going on with the Texans? Everyone had them as a playoff team. Like, they lose to New England week 1. Okay. They lose week 2. Okay. They lose week 30. Oh, okay. The Giants. I even, like, you know, I was kind of making fun of the Bull and Man for taking the Giants over the Texans, but I was wrong. That's why I'm not making fun of any picks anymore. But I still think there's something there with the Texans. There's so much talent. They got to get it going, and I think it is going to happen with the Colts. Against the Colts, sorry. I have the Texans over the Colts. I think they can definitely win here and start to get going for the season. They just gotta start winning. They're not looking as good as promised. But the Bulls gotta take the Texans with me. Also thinks that the Texans can finally get going here. And Madden is going to have the Texans as well. 24-17. That's pretty realistic. And yeah, I hope the Texans can get going because they have a lot of talent to miss the playoffs. And I know it's still early in the season. I'm not trying to over dramatic. Hey, what do I care? I'm a Steelers fan anyhow. Alright, next up, Bills at the Packers. I'm going with the Green Bay Packers. Even though the Bills shocked everybody and destroyed the Vikings, of all teams, to get destroyed by the Bills, I'm not sold on the Vikings net yet. I'm not buying into them. The Packers have Aaron Rodgers and everyone. Hopefully, they stop going after Clay Matthews and the roughing the passer call because they're really on him about that, and it's really just not fair to them. I think the Packers can win this game. Even though the Packers are coming off a loss and the Bills are coming off against a win, I still think Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, and he can still win games like this. The Bull is also taking the Green Bay Packers, and Madden's taking the Green Bay Packers 31-14. I can definitely see that score. Alright, next up, Lions at the Cowboys. I am going with the Lions. I'm buying into them after the Patriots loss. Patriots win against them. The reason the Cowboys are coming. That's where I'm getting the Seahawks. They're coming off a loss against the Seahawks. Lions come off a win against the Patriots. I think the Lions are gonna have some momentum here. The Cowboys they're not seeming like the best team right now. Yeah, they got done over the Giants, but other than that, they lost to the Panthers and they lost to the Seahawks. Seahawks were kind of surprising. I thought the Cowboys could get done over them, but I was not right. Let's see if I'm right in this situation and saying that the Lions are going to beat the Cowboys. The Bull is in disagreement. The Bull is taking the Cowboys over the Lions, and after the Bulls week, I'm not gonna put that against them. I'm not gonna question it. Because honestly, this is a toss-up game. To be honest, both teams are like mediocre at best. But the Madden is going to agree with me. Lions winning 28-18. Pretty realistic there. Man's having a better. I'm still waiting if they may predict another tie. I really hope they don't, because that's just weird. All right, next up we have the Buccaneers at the Bears. The Buccaneers coming off a loss against my Steelers. In the first half, everyone was panicking because it looked like the Fitz magic wore off with Fitzpatrick having so many turnovers here, but you know they got back into it. They brought a 30-10 game to 30 and 27 game. I don't think Fitzmagic is worn off. I still think Fitzmagic is kind of there. That's why I'm taking the Buccaneers over the Bears. The Bears and Buccaneers are very surprising this season with between Fitzmagic and like the Bears defense. It's really just really surprising. I think the Buccaneers can defeat the Bears in this situation. The Bears on a hot streak. Tampa's hot streak was ended by the Steelers. But I think the Bears are gonna lose here, and the Bull actually agrees with me and has the Buccaneers winning this game. But Madden's going with the Bears, 20-17. I could see it going either way here. This game is much better than anyone predicted it to be this year. Like looking in the offseason, looking at this game, it's like, oh, this game sucks. But this game is actually gonna be pretty good. Yeah, just a pretty good game. Alright, next up we have the last 1 o'clock game, the Bengals at the Falcons. The Bengals were on a 2-0 hot streak, and everyone was hyping them up, saying they could go to the playoffs, but they just lost to the Panthers. And even as an unbiased Steelers fan, I knew the Bengals are going to start losing. I think they're going to start losing even more. I had the Falcons winning this game. I just think they're a much better team than the Bengals, and I just don't think the Bengals are going to go to the playoffs. I think they're going to start losing a lot of these NFC South games. However, the Bulls going to go against me here and is going to say the Bengals win this game. But Madden's going to say this is a very high-scoring game and say the Falcons win this shootout 42-31. Maybe. I wouldn't predict this game for being a shootout, but you never know. You never know. As you guys can see, I'm being very respectful to these these opinions now because it's I got last week I went too hard on the Bull and man I went 6-10. So yeah, I really need to bounce back here. So I'm very open now. But I just don't see the Bengals getting this one done. Yeah, I just see them losing to the Falcons because the Falcons are a decent team. They lost to the Saints by in overtime. Yeah. Alright, next up we have Seahawks at the Cardinals. The Cardinals blew a lead, I'm pretty sure, because I thought that's another prediction I'm getting wrong, but the Bears ended up winning that. The Seahawks, at least in my opinion, came up with a surprising win against the Cowboys. I'm going with the Seahawks because they showed me more so far. Even though the Seahawks aren't the same team, the Cardinals are just like right now they're just like a bad team. I don't know. I mean, the Cardinals seem like they could be something at least decent. They have some good players. They just aren't doing anything right now. I don't know what's going on with Sam Bradford or like the whole Josh Rosen thing. I really don't know. But I think the Seahawks are going to get a win here, even though they're not the same as they used to be. But but the Bulls taking the Cardinals. Madden is not taking the Cardinals. Madden's going to say 38-28. The Seahawks are winning this game. So we are in a little bit of a disagreement here between the Bull, me, and Madden. But, you know, that's the fun of it. And honestly, this one's a flip-flop too. It could go either way. Both teams are kind of disappointing, and I really, really don't see playoffs for either of them. Alright, next up. Browns at the Raiders. The Cleveland Browns, after like a year, they went 0-16 last year. Last time they went is like the Christmas Eve of 2016. They finally won a game against the Jets. Baker Mayfield, is Baker Mayfield the future? He might be. Is he going to be a bust? He might be. We actually don't know yet. We haven't seen a lot of him. He's not looking like one. He's looking pretty good. And the Oakland Raiders are struggling even with their talent and John Gruden. They're just not looking too good. But I'm going to be taking the Raiders in this situation. I say the Raiders, even though I said this last week. The Raiders finally get their first win at home against the Browns. I am in support of the Browns. I think they can win a couple games. I do remember at the end of the day they're still in a divisional rival, but as long as they're not beating the Steelers and they're beating opponents of the Steelers, that's fine with me. I don't want them to make the playoffs because if they make the playoffs, we could choke to them in the playoffs. That's just how the Steelers work. But I am going to take the Raiders here. I think Cleveland is still a little bit Cleveland, and I think that's going to be enough for them to lose to the Raiders. The Bull also has the Raiders, and Man also has the Raiders, 31-17. I can see that score. I know I say that a lot. I can see the score, but sometimes Man just really has a realistic score that I agree with. Sometimes it's something crazy, but you never know. Next up, Saints at the Giants. The Saints coming off a pretty good win. It was close. It was in overtime against their divisional rival, the Falcons. Drew Brees almost single-handedly won my fantasy league, fantasy game. But that I'm glad because I almost had Aaron Rodgers starting, but Aaron Rodgers was like questionable, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put Drew Brees in. So glad I did that. I have the Saints winning this game against the Giants. The Giants are coming off a win against the Texans. Surprising, too, because the Texans are a pretty good team. Or at least on paper they are. Haven't shown anything yet. But I think the Saints are just better than the Giants. They just seem like a better team. I don't see playoffs for the Giants. I see playoffs for the Saints. So yeah, I just the way the Giants have been playing, I don't think they're ready to be a team like the Saints. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Saints choke. I don't know. The Bull thinks the Saints are gonna choke, and they think they're buying into the Giants, because the Bull is predicting the Giants win this game, and Man's also predicting the Giants win this game. Very low scoring, 14-10. That seems like a pretty boring game and uncharacteristic of both of those teams. Just especially with the Saints, that offense they have doesn't seem like it's going to be that low scoring of a game. Alright, next up we have the 49ers at the Chargers. The 49ers lost Jimmy G for the season. That is very crucial and very, very bad. It's unfortunate. But I originally had the 49ers possibly being a wild card, but at this point I don't think that's possible. Not without Jimmy G as their starting quarterback. And I think even Richard Sherman went down too. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I think I heard that. So yeah, I'm taking the Chargers in this situation. The Chargers just have lots of talent, and they do win games and enough to at least get close to the playoffs. Maybe not necessarily make the playoffs, but yeah, I think the Chargers are going to win this game, especially without Jimmy G and without Richard Sherman. The Chargers are also the Bulls' pick. The Bull thinks the Chargers are going to win this game. And Madden actually is going to have the 49ers winning this game 31-28. Now, the unfortunate thing about that is Madden doesn't have the injuries Madden's not really taking into account of the injuries to Jimmy G and Richard Sherman, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, they're not going to count the 49ers out yet. I'm not fully counting them out, but it does not look good for them for me, so I don't know. We'll just have to see. But yeah, I guess the Bull isn't taking into account for injuries, so it's kind of fair in that regards. But I don't know. it's whatever. Nothing. I mean, I could do it, but I don't want to spend too much time with like messing with like rosters and stuff. So, yeah, they'll just have to get some predictions wrong. Alright, Sunday Night Football is my game, my team. It is going to be the Steelers, or the Ravens at the Steelers. The Steelers are my team. Now, the Steelers coming off a win, their first win of the season against the Buccaneers after tying the Browns and losing to the Chiefs. Now, losing to the Chiefs isn't that bad because Steelers almost won that game. If the defense just needed to make like a couple stops, and they could have won that pretty closely. They could have won the Browns game too if Chris Boswell didn't miss the field goal, but I'm not blaming him for that one because it was wet, rainy, and there was like a little wacky of like a hold too. But I'm blaming him for some of these. Chris Boswell doesn't seem like he's getting going. The Ravens coming off a win against the Broncos in Denver. They lost to the Bengals and they crushed the Bills week 1. I'm going with my Steelers here. I'm finally having faith in them again. I went against them last week and they made me pay for it. But I'm trusting them again. I can take my Steelers again. I think we're going to do decent this season again. And hope is coming back to a lot of Steelers fans too, I think. The Bull is going to take the Ravens here. They think the Ravens are going to win. And Madden thinks the Ravens are going to win 24-22. Now, the Steelers definitely can lose to the Ravens here. However, it is home field advantage, so they really, really shouldn't. But I know the Steelers and they could lose. But I'm still taking my Steelers with confidence. Hopefully, the reason the Steelers won last week is because I went against them. Because if that's the case, I'll go against them again just for them to lose. But yeah, it's just me being a little superstitious. I think the Steelers can win this game. If it was in Baltimore, though, I might have taken the Ravens. But it is in Pittsburgh, and I think the Steelers can beat the Ravens. Alright, last game, Monday Night Football. We have the Chiefs at the Broncos. Of course, I am taking the Chiefs. Everyone's hyping up their offense. Pat Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Sammy Watkins. They are their O-line. They're very, Kareem Hunt. I forgot Kareem Hunt. They are very, very, very good offense. I've been sleeping on it. Of course, I took my Steelers against them, and in the week 1, I think I went against them too, and last week I went against them just because I just thought the 49ers were going to win in an upset. I did acknowledge it was an upset, so I didn't completely sleep on them. I just thought they were going to get upset, but they're not, and they're looking really hot. They're looking like they're going to be a playoff team, and I originally thought the Chiefs were going to be last in their division at the beginning of the season. I'll admit, I had no faith in Patrick Mahomes. Now I do, and now I'm going to take him against the Denver Broncos, who recently lost to the Ravens, and are looking like decent but mediocre, even with Case Keenum. And the Bull is also going to take the Chiefs, and Madden is also going to take the Chiefs 21-14. Very realistic of a score. And I think the Chiefs can continue their hot streak and still be undefeated in the NFL. So yeah, guys, that is going to be my Week 4 predictions. Mine, the Bulls, and Madden. A very quick recap here. We have Vikings at the Rams. I have the Rams. Madden has the Rams. The Bull has the Rams. Jets at the Jaguars. I have the Jaguars. Bull has the Jaguars. Man has the Jaguars. Dolphins at the Patriots. I have the Patriots. Bull has the Dolphins. Man has the Dolphins. Eagles at the Titans. I have the Eagles. Bull has the Eagles. Man has the Eagles. Texans at the Colts. I have the Texans. Bull has the Texans. Man has the Texans. Bills at the Packers. I have the Packers. Bull has the Packers. Madden has the Packers. Lions at Cowboys. I have the Lions. Bull has the Cowboys. Man has the Lions. Buccaneers at the Bears. I have the Bears. I have the Bucks. Bull has the Bucks. And Madden has the Bears. Bengals at Falcons. I have Falcons. Bull has the Bengals. Man has the Falcons. Seahawks at Cardinals. I have the Seahawks. Bull has the Cardinals. Madden has the Seahawks. Browns at the Raiders. I have the Raiders. Bull has the Raiders. Man has the Raiders. Saints at the Giants. I have the Saints. Bull has the Giants. Man has the Giants. 49ers at Chargers. I have the Chargers. Bull has the Chargers. Man has the 49ers. Ravens at Steelers. I have the Steelers. Bull has the Ravens. Madden has the Ravens. Chiefs at Broncos. I have the Chiefs. Bull has the Chiefs. Madden has the Chiefs. So that are the picks. They are in for week 4. Let's see what we can do. There is some variety, some agreements, some not agreements. The Bull, scaring me again with being different in some cases. Though I don't want them to have another 15-1 record. Well, it's impossible this week because there's bye weeks now. But yeah, let's see if we can bounce back here. I think I can. I think I have some good picks. But hey, I wouldn't make the picks, so I didn't think they were good. And I of course thought that last week too. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like or dislike, subscribe or don't subscribe. No, it's always up to you. Make sure you watch week 5. We'll recap what happens in week 4. And we'll make the week 5 picks. So yeah. Goodbye.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong.